feel glad to welcome our chairperson,
Yes,
Ambassador
yes,
Professor Dr. Esther Malama, Country Director, IPOH Malaysia, International Inspirational Speaker, Award winner, Certified Global Trainer, International Soft Skill Trainer, International Toastmaster, Educationist, Macedonia Golden Award winner 2022, Leadership Award 2022, Parenting Coach, Child and Youth Development Coach, Mentor at Oriental University Indore, India and Witty Gossip, International Peace Ambassador, Accountant UK and IT Engineer UK, Malaysian Education Ambassador for International Internship University, and she is an official trainer, project director, and international speaker, country director of IPRH Malaysia. So her latest awards in 2023, Best Global Educator Award 2023, Worldwide Leadership Gold Award winner 2023, Most Influential and Iconic Leader 2023, International Inspirational Speaker Award winner 2023, Global Legend and Peace Award 2023. We welcome you, ma'am. Over to you.
thank you, dear. Congratulations, welcome, namaste, and a happy weekend. Dear all honorable, respected guest speakers and participants, you are in 5 days international virtual workshop on research skills. It is great honor and pleasure to welcome our first speaker, guest speaker, Dr. Meghna Anissa. A Hayuni graduated in Associate in Health Science Education 2004, graduated in Bachelor of Science in Nursing 2006, graduates in Master of Public Administration 2009, graduated in Master of Arts in Nursing 2014, graduated in Doctor of Publication Administration 2015, and a graduating student in postal doctoral in strategic management and leadership, June 2023. She is a licensed midwife, licensed nurse, and a licensed professional teacher in Professional Regulation Commission in Philippines. At present, she is the graduate school dean of Mindanao State University, Philippines. She is the current editor-in-chief of MSU Sulu Graduate School Digest Journal. She is also an author of book entitled Healthcare Ethics for Nurses. She authored and published different researches related to health and management. We take great pleasure in welcoming you, Dr. Meghna. You may proceed with your session. Thank you.
Okay, good evening in the Philippines now. Thank you, Dr. Esther, for your nice presentation and introduction to me. Good evening to each and everyone, to Dr. Shalja and all the participants in attendance this evening. So I am happy and overwhelmed that Dr. Shalja invited me once again to present internationally on the importance of research skills. Okay, so let us discuss what is what is the importance of research skills. So uh, remember that in our research, it is very important that every one of us has um, the eagerness or willingness to of course to have it is really important for us to have our research skills, because if you have these skills, it will allow you to, of course, accomplish your research. So first thing we will going to know is what is research skills all about. Research skills are the ability to search for, find, collect, analyze, interpret, and evaluate information that is relevant to the subject being studied. This is one of the important things for you, or for you as a researcher, is to able to search or to have a paper, to find, to collect, to analyze and interpret, or even evaluate information. So um, once once you are a researcher, it is really mandated for you, or it is really important for you to, of course, it's really important for you um to come up with a research. So remember that research skills shapes the future. It teaches new things, new ideas, and help adapt and evolve the new trends. This is the importance of research. Is once you have a research, you can have you can come up with new ideas, new things, and of course, new trends in the world or in the global happenings. So it's also important that research skills includes different techniques. Um, in doing research, there are a lot of techniques that you have to do. There must be there must be an interest for you to come up with a good research, or to come up with another research or another study. So that is another way of coming up with another research. So research skills are the capability of a person carries to create new concepts and understand the use of data collection. It includes techniques, documentation, and interpretation of the data collected. Why research is important to us? Nowadays, everyone is already involved with the research. Academically, it is very important to us. It gives us product. It also it also help us to build our confidence, especially coming up with good research. And another important thing in research is, of course, collaboration. Um, Having partners with different countries, or with different people who are also engaged in research, giving sharing ideas, giving ideas. So this is why research is important to us. So we always have to understand that in research we gain deeper understanding of people. We look into what problem they have, what as a researcher, it interests us to have getting idea with the people around. So why they do things, and why they do the things they do. So research is it enrich our lives with the latest knowledge of health, nutrition, technology, business, and among others. So in research, okay. So in research, we gain deeper understanding of people. It empowers us with knowledge. Okay, what are the skills needed for research and development? Um, it includes first critical thinking. Remember, critical thinking refers to the person's data analysis skills, person's ability to think rationally, interpret information, and make connection. So, why is critical thinking is needed as a skills in research? It is because It is because in critical thinking, it allows researchers to, of course, analyze different problems of research. So when you are in the throes of research, you need to be able to analyze and think logically. Okay, I'll just remove this one. Okay, wait for, I'm sorry for that. Okay, so next slide, please. I'll just remove my laptop. Uh, can you hear me? I'm sorry.
Yes, yes, we can hear.
Okay, next slide, please.
Ma'am, I will change this slide.
Next slide, next slide.
I am thinking I am facing some network issue, so there is a delay.
Okay,
Okay, I'm sorry.
Nice,
Okay,
okay.
thank you, sir. Okay, so another skills that a researcher would have is the time management skills. So as a researcher, it is very important for us to have our time, uh, because if you have the time to really do your research, you really have you can when you have the time, it allows you to, of course, finish your goal in accomplishing the research. So in my case, uh, as much as I am really busy with my work, with of course doing all the tasks in the school, in my workplace, but of course I cannot I will always have the time to do all the research and do it as possible. So time management skills is one of the important skills of a researcher, especially when you really wanted to come up or to finish or to accomplish a research paper, because it involves setting goals. If you have goals, for example, you want to finish a certain study, then um, you have to really make sure that you have the time management. Then the time management also will deal with planning, because planning is very important in accomplishing your work, your paper, and then organizing at the same time all the notes or related literatures or studies that you have. You have to organize it all. And to tell you that doing a research is not just a one sit. You have to do it. You have to really give your time, your effort in doing your research. So everything must be organized. Then delegate. So how are you going to delegate it? As much as possible. That is why it is really important that collaboration is very important, because you can delegate some difficulties of getting information or data gathering through the help of your partner. So um, time management is an essential research skill. Sir, can you? It is not yet there. Can you please move it back? Okay, I'm sorry. Okay, so these skills are essentials when researching, because they allow you to break down tasks into more manageable parts and effectively tackle each piece. So remember that goals includes vision. In doing your time management, once a researcher has the time management skills, then your goal must have the vision. So what vision you, or what is your vision towards the research that you're going to do? So make it real. So it must be realistic, and of course the importance of planning ahead,
and organization, and of course, data collection. So data collection is very important. Again, if possible, there is a collaboration with some researchers. You can do it alone, but it would take too long for you to come up with a data gathering. But because that you will going to have a partner or a collaborative effort, then it would easy for you to get or to collect data. So that is what is also important on time management skills, because it it will not prolong your study. It will not hamper your study, because if you have the time management, you can really arrange everything. Then you can collaborate, then delegate tasks, then you can ask help from anyone, because you're making sure that there is time management that you are preparing. Okay, next slide, please. Okay, time management, is an essential research skill, as it helps break down research into parts and able to manage it easier. So that is what I'm telling you earlier, that time management, once you have your goals, you did your plan, and everything was organized, then it allows you to break down research into parts for you to be able to manage it easier. So this may include setting of goals, planning, organizing functions, and efficiently delegating tasks. So again, time management and the critical thinking are those examples of research skills. So next slide, please. Okay, another skills that a researcher must have is a good communicator. You must be a good communicator, because remember, communication is the information that a person gathered in a way that it is effective and efficient. It actually plays a big role because it allows the ability to understand the information received and vice versa. In research, it is very important to gather information, especially when you do uh, qualitative research, when you conduct interview or focus group discussion. So everything must be noted and must be included as part of your study. And since that is the main purpose of your study, is to gather the evidence-based study, then it is very important that communication uh, must be effective and must be efficient. Okay, next slide, please. Okay, these skills help you understand and receive important information, and also allow to share findings with others in an effective manner. Active listening and speaking are critical skills for solid communication. So in doing a research, you really have to be understanding and very lenient when you have to gather information, because you need to communicate with all the people around, that the scope of your study is all about. So if you're shy, or if you don't know how to talk with people or getting information from them, then you cannot have a good result or good information. So it is better for you to really compose yourself, to communicate properly in all those people or organizations or institutions involved in your study. So remember that communication is very important in very important skills in research. So a researcher must have a good communication skills, because that is a really part of being a researcher. Is you do not just have to sit at the corner, but you really have to be a good communicator as well. Next slide, please. Okay. Another skills that a researcher must have is you know how to solve a problem, because um, a researcher must always in puzzle, you have to complete the puzzle. So just like in a research, you have to complete all the data. Once it is incomplete, then there's no sense of coming up with a research. So if possible, that as a researcher, you know how to solve a problem, because it involved the ability to break a problem down into to its parts. It it allows you to think critically about each element and analyze the information. Remember, there are strategies that includes problem solving. First is creativity. You have to be creative uh in solving a problem. Example of that is you have to be you have the initiative, or you have to be a resourceful in order to solve a certain problem or a research. Another one is communicating as well, because as I've said earlier, communication is very important, because it gives you a big role in a research. And then planning and scheduling as well. So scheduling, it's part of the time management as well, one of the skills of the researcher. Okay, so next slide, please. Okay, so it is the ability to handle complex situations and business challenges and come up with solutions. So remember that a researcher must have the ability to handle a certain problem and know how to treat it or know how to solve it. To problem solve, one should be able to fully understand the extent of the problem and break it down into smaller parts. What does it mean? Meaning you have to prioritize the things that needed to be answered immediately, or the least things that not really need for urgent problem solving. Next, please. Okay, another one is taking notes. In the research, you really have to have a notebook with you, or a small pocket notebook in your bag, because everything that you can remember, you will going to jot it down. It does not mean that when when you will going to have a research, it's just a one seat using your laptop alone, or getting information from the laptop alone or from the internet alone. No, because when you will going to come up with a research, there is a notes, or or an information that is solid and that is found in a certain notebook or paper, and everything is there. So later on, you will organize it. You will going to organize it, or you will going to compile it, and later on you can come up with a good research, because it means you're taking everything, you're taking you note everything, you give importance to those things that comes around you, that you have seen, that you have observed, because taking notes is very important. It's the ability to gather the most important information being presented, and later on you will going to summarize it, and of course that is you just going to add more spice to it in order for you have to have a beautiful research paper. So research involves sifting out through and taking lots of information, because as I've said, you cannot just get it through the internet, but you can get it from a lot of the things that you encountered. That's why It's very important for you to take notes. You have a small notebook with you or a paper with you, and you have to compile it everything. And yun, um after of course getting all the information, then you can summarize it, and then that will be included as part of your research because it will going to give a big impact to your research. Okay, next slide please. Okay, another is if a research skills includes critical thinking, strategic thinking is also needed because strategic thinking involves strategies. You will know how to plan. You will know how to to be creative in your own way. So strategic thinking is the ability to plan the future in research and the capacity to prepare strategies and conjure ideas that will both cope with changing environments and consider the various challenges that lie ahead. So it is very important that a researcher must have these strategic thinking skills because um, it is not just a researcher that you will going to write, that you will just going to think critically, rationally, but you should have the methods or the strategies on how to come up or to accomplish such paper because a strategic thinking is very important skills. It gives a big role and impact to the research skills of a researcher. Okay, next slide please. Okay, what are the benefits of research skills? What are the benefits? What gives us what benefits us? So research skills are invaluable assets. It is immeasurable. Once you have the skills, you're very lucky. You're very fortunate because nowadays, because of the advent of our technology nowadays and the research and development nowadays, it is very important for you to be equipped with skills, especially when you are aiming to have of course to in like for instance when you are in the academe, when you belong in the academe. So it is very important for you to become a good researcher because this once you will going to engage into research, it will really give high impact to your academic development. So research skills are invaluable, and it benefits every individual in various aspects of their lives because as I've said, nowadays research is very important and it is not just local, it is already global. So everybody are already into research papers. So once you are inclined with the research, then everything will be everything will going to come to you, to approach you, to be part of you, because it's a gift, it's a very fortune for you once you have this research skills. Okay, next slides please. Okay, there are some keys of developing and honing research skills. So how are we going to develop and hone our research skills? Because it's not necessarily once you will going to write a book, then you're now an expert, or once you will going to or no one can write a book because that is only intended for those who are intelligent or those who are really into it. Actually, it's not really of the experience. It is not really on how you are what level your intelligence is, or
uh, or being an author or a writer or a researcher, it's not necessarily that a researcher will only be like that. Remember, in order for us to develop ourselves or hone ourselves into research is we have to boost our curiosity. How are we going to boost our curiosity? Research means is you have to come up with several ideas, several information, and coming up with um, several studies. So that is what research all about. So once you see something and you're curious on that, then it will going to have a strong desire to know things, and it is a powerful learning driver. So curiosity is one of the key for us to hone our research and development. A researcher is always curious. Naturally, they ask questions that demand answers and will not stop in the search for answers. Eh, uh, as uh, as I observe from the different researchers, they keep on researching and researching. There are, in some cases, some individuals, they have thousands of research because they love to come up with, they are very curious of the things that happens around them, and that is happening in the world. So once you're really curious, you really want to have an answer for that. And in order for you to come up with an answer is you have to come up with a good research. So curious researchers naturally always ask questions. And of course, interested people are better listeners and are open to listening to others people's ideas and perspectives, not just in their own. Okay, so you have to be it is okay if a researcher is curious, or for example, you're a new or a beginner, then once you're curious, then it's normal because you want to know something. You want to answer something, which it's just like completing a puzzle. How will you going to complete a puzzle if you will not going to think about it? So you're curious, you will become curious, and that is one of the key in developing your research skills. So next slides, please. Okay, another key is you have to cultivate self-awareness. Remember, one must develop the importance of research skills and be mindful of the benefits of awareness in research. Always, once you do research, the benefit from it reflects the beliefs and attitudes and encourages awareness and perspectives on ways to looking up at things. So you have to be aware. You have to cultivate self-awareness. That um, you have to be mindful. You have to always be aware of everything. So once you have the self-awareness, then that is one of the key of honing a research skills in you. Okay, next. Okay. Another key is to be effective communication, to have an effective communication, or to be an effective communicator. So because if you have that kind of skills, it contributes to the practical communication skills by enhancing one's ability to articulate ideas, the ability to answer, the ability to think, to analyze, to give opinions, to have perceptions or perceptives and opinions and findings that has a clear and coherent answers. So through research, individuals learn to organize thoughts. Again, as much as possible in research,
you have to avoid incoherence of the research ideas. That's why we are we usually advise our students, if they will going to have, especially it happens in the research methodology, related literature, wherein there must be a connectivity of the problem or of the related literature. So it will base on the research title, on the research concept, and at the same time, it must be um it must be coherent. The variables must be coherent to what is really what's really the researcher is trying to come up or to have. Because if there will be an incoherence or irrelevance of the idea, sometimes it may allow, or it may disallow the future researchers or the readers not to, of course, read your paper, because it might discourage them, because um uh, there's no connection of your of your research paper. So as much as possible, there must be the thoughts must be organized and must be well presented. So another one is, it must be evidence-based arguments. So sometimes, to make it formal, and of course to qualify your research, is you have to come up with focus group discussion sometimes, or if needed. And then aside from that, is you have to get ideas from previous studies that is relevant, or that is almost or the same with what you are trying to come up with the research. And then another is, you have to come up with discussions or a dialogue with your participants. Then it can be an example of evidence-based arguments, and effectively convey complex information to different audiences, because it's very important that there are participants. That's why in the research, it's important to have uh, um, participants or respondents, for you to really get more ideas and more information that can help your research output. Then these skills are crucial in academic research settings and professional environments and personal interactions, because in academic research setting, again, communication is very important, because if you are shy, or if you don't want to talk with your participants, then you cannot get an information, you cannot get idea or data, you cannot collect rightfully. But when you know how to communicate, then as much as possible, you can earn, or you can have uh, a good collection of data. And then professional environments, once you will be a good communicator, or you have this effective communication, then it's a plus for you, because it's very important that you can have a good or effective communication skills. Then personal interactions, because it's important, of course, to be friendly when you approach your participants, or for example, your respondents. You have to be friendly in asking them information, because if you're not friendly to them, then definitely they will not going to give you the answers, or they will going to snub you, because you are not really interacting with them properly. So next slide, please. Okay, next slide, please. Okay, another key is professional growth. Professional growth, sir, I'm sorry. Can you please get it back to professional growth? Okay, so another one is the professional growth. This is actually another key to develop our research skills, because professional growth fosters personal and professional growth by instilling a sense of curiosity, intellectual independence, and a lifelong learning mindset. As I remember, when I was still a beginner or a neophyte in research, I was really afraid of being judged and discriminated. I was really not into research because I am always thinking negative. Why? What if the readers will not accept, or what if people will going to reject my research paper? But I tried my best, and I always see to it that everything must be okay, and this is a stepping stone until such time later on you will going to learn on your experiences, and you will going to learn every day, especially when you come up with the research, because it gives you it instills you an idea or information and intelligence, and at the same time wisdom in doing a research paper. And again, it's a lifelong learning mindset. It will be there, it will be instilled there permanently in your mind. So research encourages individuals to seek knowledge. Yes, because again, once you're curious, you want to seek an answer to your curiosity, then definitely you will going to to get an information, and to organize the information, and to summarize and conclude your research. So therefore, that is one way for you to develop your research. Research also, it's a challenge of assumptions, because you are already assuming, or you are already anticipating that this is the reason why your problem is like this and like that. But because when you will going to answer it through your research, then your assumption sometimes will be rejected, or sometimes it will be accepted. So it depends on the information or collection of data coming from your participants, or from your respondents, or from the related literature that you gathered. So it also embrace intellectual growth. So every individual, especially when you are inclined to research, it will really grow you professionally. It helps you grow your it boosts your professional growth once you are into research papers or researching. So these skills also enhance adaptability as individuals become adept at navigating and assimilating new information, staying updated with the latest developments, and adjusting their perspectives and strategies accordingly. So that is how a professional growth is important in research skills. Next slides, please. Next slides, please. Okay. Another one is academic success. Uh, Once it really develops you, as in our institution, we are really encouraged to do research. So once we will going to have more researches, then more promotions will come to us. So that's why it will going to have an academic success to all professors in our institution. So I hope we have the same policies, that once you have once you have more researches, then possibility that is one way for you to be successful in your academic field or academic profession. So it enables researcher to conduct thorough literature reviews, gather evidence to support their arguments, and critically evaluate existing research. Sometimes, especially in the result of your research, you have to explain the findings, why it happens or why it did not happens, and it must be based on the literature that that you gathered. That's why it's very important that you have really a huge or at least a good related literature, because that is the basis of answering your doubt, answering your curiosity. Okay, and critically evaluates existing research. So by honing research skills, students can produce well-structured, evidence-based essays, projects, and demonstrating high academic research rigor and analytic thinking. This is, again, academic success is through the support of arguments, and of course, uh, it's when you will going to have good analytical thinking, strategic thinking, critical thinking, and you know how to rationalize things. So that is one way also to hone your research skills, is to incline yourselves um, into academic success. So again, it's important for you to come up with different ideas from the different studies, but however, you have to summarize it and organize things so that uh, it will have a coherent and clear and relevant information related to the study that you are coming in. Okay, so next slides, please. Okay, another one is professional advancement. Once you are into research, it develops and nurture your research skills and will be significantly benefit individuals in numerous aspects of lives, enabling researcher to thrive in an increasing information-driven world. So, again, once you are already into research, then it can advance you to become a professional advancement. So you in some cases wherein when you were still young, you wanted to write a book, for example, you aim for that, and how are you going to start with it? So again, it's not just, you cannot just get it through uh, uh, through one seat, but you really have to do all the things in order to have that professional advancement. So professional advancement is another key in honing or developing the research skills of every individual, because it really helps you develop and nurture your research skills. So next slides, please. So how to improve research skills? So once you have already research skills with you, then this time is how you will going to improve it. So first is, of course, you have to develop information literacy. By strengthening information literacy skill is crucial for conducting thorough research. It involves identifying reliable sources, evaluating the credibility of information, and navigating different research database. Because, again, it's very important that your sources are reliable and that are factual, meaning it's true and not just uh, hearsays. There is really a fact that is really happening, or that has a previous studies, and that are reliable. this improves your research skills is to develop your information literacy. Okay, next slides, please. Okay, another one is enhanced critical thinking. So in the research skills is you have the critical thinking, and how you're going to improve it is you have to enhance it. Although you have already the critical thinking skills, but you have to enhance it. So how are you going to enhance it? It is an essential skill for effective research. Uh, it involves analyzing information, questioning, uh, sorry, questioning assumptions, and evaluating arguments. So remember to practice critical analysis by analyzing thoughtfully, identifying biases, and considering alternative perspectives. That is how you will going to enhance your critical thinking. So next slides, please. Another one is you have to master research methodologies. So it's important to getting familiarized with the different research methodologies relevant to the field. For instance, what is the research design that you're going to employ, regardless if it's quantitative, regardless of its qualitative, or even mixed or experimental or exploratory, or there are a lot of research designs that you can employ in your study. So you really have to memorize all those things. You have to get familiarized with all those things, with all those methods, in order for you to master the research methodologies. So it realizes the strengths and limitations of each approach is very crucial, especially when you really want to incline or to master your research. So you have to master if you want to become a master in research, then you have to also memorize or get familiarized the research methodologies. So the methodologies includes, if you can still remember in doing research, like research local, research procedures, data analysis, research design, research respondents or participants, and the like. So you really have to be familiarized with the methodologies that the research that a researcher is doing, or that you will going to do. So next slides, please. Okay, another one is practice effective time management. If you can still remember earlier, we discussed about how to have a research skills, or what are those techniques in research skills is to have an effective time management. So you have to practice effective time management, because research requires dedicated time and effort. It develop good time management skills to ensure that you allocate sufficient time for each stage of the research process. So as I've told you earlier, that once you will going to start with doing research, you really have to give time for that, and you cannot just do it in one day. it there are some researchers, it took even a year, or even how many years, just to develop a certain study. Okay, so next slide, please. Okay. So I have another one is you have to embrace collaboration. Earlier, I mentioned that it's very important to establish collaborative efforts or partners, especially in doing research, because it's different when you will going to do it alone or when you will going to do it with somebody or with others. There's a saying that it's better to have 10 heads than one because it makes your study more relevant, more productive, and of course, it may beautify your paper. So embrace collaboration because collaborating with peers and colleagues can provide a fresh perspectives and enrich research experience. So therefore, it engage discussions, share ideas, and seek feedback from others. So collaborating research allows for exchanging knowledge and skills. So once you will going to do with somebody or with others, then you will be sharing ideas. You will be having brainstorming. There will be a collaborative effort. There will be a support system. So you will become happy when you will going to accomplish the paper, not just you alone, but together with your friends, your peers, or your colleagues, and you will be happy on the output. So, and it gives idea. The most important thing is once there is the collaboration is, it really gives you new ideas and important ideas as well, which sometimes you will not know it by you alone. Okay, next slides, please. Okay, another one is continuity of updated knowledge. Again, research is not just going going backward, but it's going forward. So stay informed about your field's latest developments and advancements, and regularly read scholarly articles, attend conferences like this. So it's very important for you to be updated every now and then. So even if you have to scout activities, if possible, you search everything, especially when it comes to research or new updates, new information, because every day is always having a new ideas and new information. So regularly read scholarly articles, attend conferences, and stay up to date with current research trends, because that is one of how you will going to hone your how you will going to improve your research skills, is to of course continue your updated knowledge. So next slide, please. So I think this will be almost to end. Is there's a sayings that no research without action. That's true. If you will not going to do anything, then if there will be no research. If you will not go and you will not do things, or you will not go into action. No action without research. So no research without action, and no action without research. Meaning to say, you have to uh, research. So that is really an important for us to really um, keep. We are always going to always keep in mind that research is very important, and keep on researching, because research is doing research. So I think my last slide is thank you for listening, everyone. I hope uh, you are now ready for. I am now ready for any question. It's very. I'm sorry for the inconvenience of my place, because actually I went to a far area from our home. just to have a good signal, because in our place there's always technical glitch when it comes to internet connection. So now I'm actually in a place wherein it's really far from our home, and it's dark here. I'm actually using I'm using a light with me, and I'm bringing such uh, a battery. So thank you for listening, and hope uh, um, you you can you can now ask me if you want, or you have some curiosity.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Dr. Meghna. What an
Mm.
excellent, remarkable presentation. It is impactful and well articulated and well structured presentation. I really congratulate you. In spite of the technical glitches, you still did it very well. Yeah. So let me give a summary of what you spoke so that our participants can refresh back their memories. Okay, Dr. Meghna, you have uh, discussed with us a wonderful topic that is about importance of research skills. You define and gave understanding of the importance of research. What are the skills needed for research and development, such as critical thinking, time management skills, communication skills, active listening, problem solving skills, taking notes, strategic thinking. Yeah, that is under what are the skills needed. Yeah, and you also enlightened us on what are the benefits of research skills. Keep um, developing and honing research skills, yeah, by boosting curiosity, cultivate self-awareness, effective communication, professional growth, academic success, and professional advancement. And you did also share with us about how to improve research skills. It is by developing information literacy, enhance critical thinking, master research methodologies, practice effective time management, embrace collaboration to enhance knowledge and skills, continuity of update knowledge. Yeah, and I'm really touched by your quote: no research without action, no action without research. Research, research, research. Amazing. Amazing. Dear participants and dear fellow speakers, if there's any questions, the floor is open now for questions with Dr. Meghna. Please raise your hands. Okay. I think everything is very clear because you did a very good presentation. So it is very clear, Dr. Meghna. Thank you. We are very pleased to have with you again, have you with us again and again in our next session. Thank you. Happy weekend. Now we will now move on to our amazing, wonderful person. Now she's like a diva now, very, very, very popular among all the speakers and experts. We welcome Professor Dr. Richa Ranjan. Dr. Richa Ranjan, BA, LLB, Honors, LLM, PhD, MD, University, Rohtak, Diploma in Labor Law, Postgraduate Diploma in Human Rights, and Certificate course in Negligence and Laws. Has been heading Swami Devi Dayal Law College for the last commendable years and has 24 years of relevant experience in legal field. She has got highly acclaimed academic and administrative credentials. She is passionate about providing education to every class of society and had played significant role in helping the students develop essential transferable skills and many indispensable as well as commendable personal qualities armed with strength and dignity. She always speaks with wisdom and delivers faithful instructions to students and faculty. She has supervised research leading to LLM and PhD degrees. She has published numerous research papers in legal journals of national and international repute. She has been a team leader throughout her professional career by organizing various co-curricular activities like legal aid clinics, mock parliament, moot courts, and etc. And always inspired students to go for legal aid camps and workshops in rural areas. Let's welcome our Professor Dr. Richa Ranjan. Dr. Richa, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Dr. Esther Mala, for such a warm welcome. Thank you so much. And I heartily thanks International Research Academy of Science, Serbia, and Cape Comorin Trust, India, and especially Dr. Shelja for providing this platform. Thank you so much. Now I'll continue. I'll start with my topic, which is how can we improve research skills? Improving research skills require a combination of practice, discipline, and adoptive effective strategies. So here are some tips to enhance research skills. We are going to define what should be done. Clearly articulate what you aim to achieve through your research. Having well-defined objectives that will help you stay focused, and we should avoid getting overwhelmed. We should plan about the research. Break down your research project into smaller, manageable tasks. Create a timeline, proper timeline, or we should schedule to ensure that allocation of time should be sufficient for each phase of research. Develop a research question. A concise and specific research question should be their guide with our investigation. It should be answerable, and we should provide a clear direction of the research. Next slide. We should familiarize ourselves with the topic. Proper, clear vision should be there regarding topic. Start by gaining a broad understanding, clear understanding of the subject area. Textbooks must be read, articles must be reviewed, and reputed online sources should be grasped. That should be our foundational knowledge. Use effective search strategies. Utilize appropriate search engines, library databases, and academic journals to find relevant sources. Keywords should be used, and advanced search techniques to narrow down your results. Evaluate sources critically. Assess the credibility, reliability, and relevance of the sources. What we find. Look for peer-reviewed articles, scholarly publications, and authoritative authors to ensure the accuracy of the information. Organized notes must be taken. To create a system for note taking to keep track of important information from your sources. Summarize it. Summarize key points. Record bibliographic details and highlight relevant quota or data. That is must. Analyze and synthesize information. Next slide, please. Analyze the data and information you gather to identify patterns, themes, or trends. Compare and contrast different sources to synthesize a comprehensive understanding of the topic. Keep track of references, maintain a bibliography or reference list as you conduct your research. That is very necessary because without references, research is baseless. Use citation management tools like EndNote or Zotero to organize and format your critical think references accurately. Develop critical thinking skills, which earlier was told by Dr. Meghna Anisa also. There should be developed critical thinking skills. Cultivate your ability to evaluate arguments, identify biases, and think critically about the information you encounter. Consider alternative viewpoints and challenge assumptions to develop a well-rounded perspective. Seek guidance and feedback. Consult with your professors, the librarians, or subject matter experts who can provide guidance and feedback on your research. They can help you refine your research question, suggest relevant resources, and offer valuable insights. Practice proper citation and references. I've come on the next slide. Learn and follow the appropriate citation style consistently throughout your research. Accurate referencing is essential to acknowledge the work of others and avoid plagiarism. Develop writing skills, enhance your ability to articulate your research findings effectively. Practice writing research papers, essays, reports using a clear, concise, and logical structure. Stay organized. Keep your research materials, notes, and references well organized. Use digital tools like references, managers, note-taking apps, or cloud storage to maintain a structured workflow. Reflect and iterate. After completing a research project, next slide, please. After completing a research project, reflect on the strengths and your weaknesses of your process. Identify areas for improvement and apply those lessons to future research endeavors. Remember, research skills are developed over time with consistent practice. By following these tips and dedicating yourself to continuous learning, you can enhance your research skills and become a more effective researcher. Now we'll discuss about how, briefly I've discussed everything about the research skills. Now I'll come in detail. I'll plan about how we can plan for research. Next slide, please. So, planning for research involves several key steps, and those are that we must be systematic, we must be having the approach which must be systematic and organized. Here's our step-by-step guide on how to plan for the research. Identify this research topic, choose a subject or area of interest that you want to investigate, consider its significance and what is its relevance and your existing knowledge and the expertise in the field. Define research objectives, clearly articulate the specific goals and outcomes you aim to achieve through your research. What are the particular outcomes for which you're doing the research? Determine what you want to learn and what you want to discover, or what kind of contribution you want to contribute to the existing knowledge in your field. Conduct a literature review, familiarize yourself with the existing research and literature related to your topic. Review academic journals, books, conference proceedings, and other credible sources to understand the current state of knowledge and identify research gaps. Next slide. Formulate research questions or hypotheses. Based on your literature review and research objectives, develop well-defined research questions or hypotheses that will guide your investigation. These questions should be specific, answerable, and provide a clear direction for your research. We should determine the research methodology. Main point, research methodology. Select the appropriate research methodology or approach that aligns with your research objectives. Consider whether your research will be qualitative, quantitative, or a combination of both. Choose the methods, techniques, and tools you will use to collect, analyze data. Plan the research design. Outline the overall structure and organization of your research. Determine the sequence of activities, the timeline for each phase, and any potential dependencies. Create a detailed research plan that includes milestones, deadlines, and resources required. Identify data sources and collection methods. Determine the sources from which you will collect data for your research. This can include primary sources, which can be surveys, interviews, experiments, or there can be these secondary sources also, which secondary sources can be like existing data or the literature already which are in existence. Select the appropriate data selection methods and tools to gather the necessary information. Next slide, please. Develop a data analysis plan. Determine how you will analyze the data you have collected. Select the appropriate statistical or qualitative analysis techniques, which are based on your research questions and methodology. Consider using software or tools that can aid in data analysis and visualization. Consider ethical considerations and permissions. Evaluate the ethical implications of your research and ensure compliance with relevant guidelines and regulations. If your research involves human participants, obtain necessary approvals from ethical committee and institutional review boards, which is the necessary part. Allocate resources. Access the resources required for your research, including funding, equipments, materials, and personnel. Determine how you will acquire and manage these resources effectively. Next slide, please. Next slide. Next slide, please. No, that is how we develop writing skills to improve research skills. No. So how we develop writing skills to improve research skills. Yes, yes, this one. Next slide. Developing strong writing skills is essential for effectively communicating your research findings. So we're having strategies over here. Read extensively. Read widely in your field of research to expose yourself to different writing styles, structures, and approaches. Pay attention to how authors present their arguments, convey complex concepts, and organize their thoughts. Take note of effective writing techniques and incorporate them into your own writings. Understand your audience. Consider the audience for your research paper or report. Understand their level of familiarity with the topic and tailor your writing style according to according to your taste, according to your knowledge. Tailor your writing style and language accordingly. Use discipline, specific terminology when appropriate, but ensure that your writing is accessible and understandable to a broader audience. Next slide. Plan your writing before you start. Before you start writing, create an outline or structure for your research paper. Outline the main sections, subheadings, and key points you want to cover all the material. This will help you maintain a clear and logical flow in your writing. Craft a compelling introduction. Begin your research paper with an engaging introduction that provides context, highlights the importance of your research, and present your research questions or objectives. Hook the reader and make them interested in your work from the very beginning. Present a clear methodology. Clearly explain the research methods, data collection techniques, and analytical approaches you employed in your study. Describe the steps taken, address potential limitations. That provides sufficient detail for other researchers to replicate your work. Next slide. Structure your paper effectively. Organize your research paper into sections such as introduction, literature review, methodology, results, discussion, and conclusion. That should be done in very proper manner. Use subheadings to guide readers through the content. Ensure that each section flows logically and connects to the overall research narrative. Develop coherent paragraphs. Each paragraph should focus on a single idea or concept. Start with the topic sentence that introduces the main point of the paragraph. Provide supporting evidences such as examples, and end with the concluding sentence that transitions to the next idea. Ensure that there is a clear flow between paragraphs. Use clear and concise language. Write in a clear and straightforward manner. Avoid jargon, excessive technical language, or unnecessary complexity that may confuse readers. Use precise and specific language to convey your ideas effectively. Next slide. Provide evidences and examples. Yes, support your arguments and statements with evidence from credible sources. Use data, statistics, research findings, or examples to back up your claims. Ensure that your sources are properly cited and referred. Revise and edit. Revise your writing to ensure clarity, coherence, and conciseness. Check for grammar, punctuation, spelling errors, remove redundant or repetitive information. Read your work aloud to identify awkward phrasing or unclear sentences. Yes, seek feedback from peers or mentors to gain additional perspectives and suggestions for better work for improvement. Embrace revision as part of the process. Writing is an iterative process, so be prepared to revise and refine your work. Take time to review and rewrite the sections, rearrange the paragraphs, or restructure your arguments if needed. Yes, pay attention to feedback which you demanded, which you applied for, attention to feedback, and yes, to strengthen your writing. Develop a consistent citation style. This is next slide, please. So for consistent citation style, we should follow the appropriate citation style. Example, APA, MLA, consistently throughout your research paper. Understand the specific rules and guidelines of the chosen style and apply them accurately in your next citation and reference list. Practice writing regularly. Enhance your writing skills by practicing regularly. Set aside dedicated time for writing. Working on research papers, journal articles, or even blog posts related to your research. The more you write, the more you are into it, your research will be refined. You'll develop your voice. Seek writing support and resources. Utilize writing resources available to you, such as writing centers, workshops, or online guides that provides guidance on academic writing. Seek feedback from mentors and advisors. Now, next we come to the critical thinking skills in research. Next slide, please. About critical thinking skills and critical thinking skills in research. No, not this one. Critical thinking. Okay. How to it's how to search effective search strategies. Next slide, please. How to search effective search strategies. Yeah, in research skills. Developing effective search strategies is crucial and efficient and targeted research. Here are some steps we'll discuss about. Clearly define your research question or your topic. Before you start searching, ensure that you have a clear understanding what you're looking for. Clearly define your research question or the topic and identify the key concepts of keywords relating to it. Identify relevant keywords. Break down your research question or topic into key concepts and keywords. Think about synonyms, related terms, and variations that may be used in the literature. Consider both broad and specific keywords to cover different aspects of your research. Next slide, please. Use Boolean operators. Allow you to combine or exclude keywords to refine your search. Use AND to narrow down results by requiring all keywords to appear or to broaden these search by including any of the keywords and not to exclude specific terms. Utilize advanced search techniques. Most search engines and databases offer advanced search options that can be enhance your search result. Explore features like truncation, using to search for variation of a word, wildcards, and all. Select appropriate databases and search engines. Choose the most relevant and reliable databases, libraries, search engines for your research topic. Academic databases like PubMed, Scopus, or IEEE explore all valuable for scientific research, while Google Scholar and library catalogs provide a broader scope of information. Next slide, please. Refine your research results. As you conduct your initial research, review these results and identify relevant articles, books, or sources. Analyze the titles, abstracts, and keywords to determine their relevance to your research question. Note any additional keywords or concepts that emerge from the search results. Utilize search filters and limiters. Most databases and research engines offer filters and limiters to narrow down search results. These include publication date, language, study design, geographic location, or specific document types. Example, peer-reviewed articles, dissertation. Applying these filters can help you focus on the most relevant sources. Explore citation networks and references. Once you identify key articles or sources relevant to your research, review their references list for additional relevant studies. Use citation indexes, example, Web of Science, Scopus, to identify articles that have cited the key sources what you found. This can help you discover related and influential studies. Next slide, please. Critical thinking. So now we'll discuss about the critical thinking skills in research. Developing critical thinking skills is crucial for conducting effective research. So we'll follow some questionnaire kind of in this regarding this. Question assumptions, challenge assumptions, and preconceived notions about your research topic. Ask yourself why certain beliefs or ideas are accepted and seek evidence to support or question them. This helps you approach your research with an open and critical mindset. Analyze and evaluate resources. Develop the ability to critically evaluate the credibility, reliability, and relevance of the sources you encounter. Assess the author expertise, the publication reputation, the methodology employed, and the evidence provided. Look for biases or conflicts of interest that may impact the validity of the information. Next slide, please. Seek diverse perspectives. Engage with a variety of viewpoints, theories, research findings related to your topic. Consider different disciplinary approaches and seek out alternate perspectives. What will be the effects of this? This will broaden your understanding and helps you develop a more comprehensive and nuanced perspective on this subject. Identify and evaluate biases. Be aware of your own biases and strive to recognize biases in the research literature. Recognize potential sources of bias, such as funding sources, political or ideological affiliations, or publication biases. Look for counter arguments and evidences that may challenge prevailing views. Practice logical reasoning. Develop your ability to analyze arguments and access the logic behind them. Identify premises, conclusions, logical connections between all of them. Look for the fallacies, inconsistencies, gaps in reasoning. Practice constructing sound and valid arguments in your research. Consider alternative explanations. Next slide, please. Cultivate the habit of exploring multiple explanations or interpretations for the data or evidence you encounter. Avoid jumping to conclusions based on limited evidences, and instead consider alternative hypotheses that could explain the findings. Develop information literacy skills. Enhance your ability to critically evaluate and interpret different types of information, such as statistical data, visualization, or qualitative data. Understand the limitations and strengths of different data sources and research methods. Practice problem solving. Research often involves encountering complex problems or challenges. Develop problem-solving skills by breaking down complex issues into manageable components, identifying potential solutions, and evaluating their feasibility and effectiveness. Next slide, please. Engage in peer discussions and debates. Participate in discussions and debates with peers, mentors, and colleagues. Engaging in intellectual discourse allows you to consider different perspectives, refine your arguments, and identify weaknesses or gaps in the thinking. Reflect on your research process. Regularly reflect on your research process and critically evaluate your own thinking and decision making. Analyze the strengths and weaknesses of your approach and consider how you could improve your critical thinking skills in future research endeavors. Seek feedback and constructive criticism actively. If you will seek from your mentors and advisors or experts in your field, embrace constructive criticism as an opportunity to refine your critical thinking skills. Consider alternative viewpoints and evaluate the merit of feedback you receive. Next slide, please. Continuously learn and stay curious. Cultivate a mindset of lifelong learning and intellectual curiosity. Stay updated with the latest research methodologies and approaches in your field. Embrace new ideas and be willing to adapt your thinking based on new evidence on perspective. Remember that developing critical thinking skills is an ongoing process. With regular practice, reflection, and an open mindset, you can enhance your ability to think critically and conduct rigorous research. Next slide, please. How do we stay organized while doing research? Staying organized during research is essential for efficient workflow, effective time management, and easy retrieval of information. So here are some strategies which are going to help in this. How we can stay organized. Establish a system for digital files and folders. This should be done if you are into research work. This should be maintained. Create a well-structured system of organizing your digital files and documents. Use descriptive file names and organize them into logical folders according to topics, projects, or stages of your research. This makes it easier to locate and retrieve specific files when they are needed. Utilize reference management software. Consider using reference management software such as we can say EndNote, Jotero, or Mendeley to organize and manage your references. These tools allow you to store and categorize references, generate citation and bibliographies, and easily import references from various sources. Next slide, please. Maintain a research journal or log. Keep a research journal or log to record your activities, thoughts, ideas, and progress. This can include summaries of articles you read, notes from meetings or discussions, and insights gained during your research process. Regularly update your journal to keep track of your research journey. Take organized notes. Develop a systematic approach to note taking. Use a consistent format or template to record information from sources, including bibliographic details, key points, and relevant quotes. Consider using note-taking tools or software like Evernote or OneNote or digital note-taking and easy organization. Use project management tools. Utilize project management tools like Trello, Asana, or Microsoft Planner to create task lists, set deadlines, and track progress. These tools help you break down your research tasks into manageable steps. Prioritize activities and monitor your progress. Next slide, please. Create a research timeline or schedule. Develop a timeline or schedule that outlines the milestones, deadlines, and tasks associated with your research. Set specific goals and allocate time for different activities such as literature review, data collection, analysis, and writing. Regularly review and update your timeline as needed. Adopt a citation and referencing system. Use a consistent and appropriate citation style. Throughout your research, familiarize yourself with the rules and guidelines of the chosen style and apply them consistently in your citation and references. Maintain a separate document or file for your reference and ensure that they are properly formatted. Backup research files. Regularly backup your research files to avoid data loss. Backup is must. Otherwise, your work done will be all in the loss. Use cloud storage services, Google Drive, Dropbox, or external hard drives to store backup of your important files. This ensures that your research materials are secure and accessible even in case of technical issues or accidents. Next slide, please. Minimize clutter. Main thing. Avoid clutter. Keep your physical and digital workplace organized and clutter-free. Regularly clean up unnecessary files, documents, or materials that are no longer relevant to your research. Maintain a clear and tidy environment to enhance focus and productivity. Use labeling and tagging. Label and tag your files, folders, and research materials with appropriate keywords or descriptors. These enables easy search and retrieval of information. When you need it, apply consistent and meaningful labels to avoid confusion. Regularly review and update. I'm going a little bit fast because I have to join by 8 o'clock somewhere else. My time was from 7 to 8, so I'm a little bit doing faster. Remember, staying organized is a process, and you may need to experiment with different methods to find what works best for you. The key is to establish a system that helps you maintain a clear overview of your research, access information efficiently, and stay on track with your goals and deadlines. Next slide, please. So improving research skills can be achieved through a combination of self-guided learning, seeking guidance from mentors or experts in your field, actively seeking feedback on your work. Here are some strategies. What are they? Academic advisors and mentors. If you are a student or a researcher affiliated with an academic institution, reach out to your academic advisors or mentors for their guidance. They can provide valuable insights, suggest resources, and offer They can offer feedback on your research work, collaborate with peers, engage with fellow researchers or students who share similar research interests. Collaborative projects and discussions with peer can provide valuable feedbacks and insights from different perspectives. Peer review and constructive criticism can greatly enhance your research skills. Next slide, please. Attend workshops and conferences. This should be the main part. Now we are having benefits of online conferences as well, workshops. We should be regular participant in attending the workshops and conferences. Participate and seminar relevant to your research field. These events often feature experienced researchers who share their expertise and offer guidance on various research methodologies and techniques. Online resource and communities. Utilize online platforms such as research forums, social media groups, and research-focused websites to connect with professionals in your field on which you are doing research. Engage in discussions, ask questions related to your topic, seek guidance from the online research community. These days, we are having huge collaboration, huge network, so we can get online research material from the online sources. Seek feedback from experts. When you have a specific research project or paper, consider reaching out to experts in your field to request feedback. Many researchers are willing to provide feedback if approached respectfully. Their insights can help you identify areas for improvement and enhancement the quality of your research. Next slide, please. Professional development programs. Look for professional development programs or courses that focus on research methodologies and skills. These programs often offer guidance, feedback, and resources to help you improve your research skills. Use research guides and manuals. Take advantage of research guides, manuals, and textbooks specific to your field. These resources often they provide step-by-step instructions. Right from the starting, I'm saying there must be steps which should be followed for your research. And these things helps us. Examples and best practices to enhance your research skills. Practice. Practice and learn from mistakes. Continuously engage in research activities to practice and refine your research skills. Embrace constructive criticism and learn from your mistake, because only criticism or only praises, they both can't work together. There must be mixture of both. Without critic, you can't step further. So reflect on the feedback. This is the necessary part of the research. The received feedbacks should be studied in detail. Accordingly, you should make the necessary adjustments, what you want, and implement improvement according to the feedback, what is provided to you in your future research endeavors. Remember, improving research skills is an ongoing process that requires dedication, practice, and openness to learning from others. By seeking guidance and feedback from various sources, you can enhance your research skills and become a proficient researcher. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Wow, amazing, amazing. Wonderful presentation. It's almost like similar, not 100%, similar to Dr. Meghnaz.
Dr. Meghnaz, yeah.
You both have your own special way in delivering this research skills on all this. And since you're rushing, I will just go very fast. Okay, Dr. Richa?
Yes, yes, because I have to, before,
Brilliant, phenomenal, and well articulated, precise, detailed facts, and well structured, incredible presentation. Okay, you got to go now immediately.
yes,
Correct?
yes, yes,
It's okay,
yes,
it's
yes.
almost the same as Dr. Meghna. Yeah, the topics, wonderful. Thank you so much for being with us today, Dr. Meghna and Dr. Richa. A wonderful time with you all. Wish we could have more time with you. And it's really great pleasure in having both of you. And we love to have you again and again. Thank you so much and happy
Thank you.
weekend.
Thank you so much. Namaste. Thank you so much.
Namaste. Back
Thank
to
you.
you, Dr.
Thank you.
Salja. Yes.
Thank you. Thank you.